They always keep it classy.
No disrespect, but
Yeah, no disrespect,
say the
bro.
most disrespectful shit.
But yo, got a fat ass and nigga in the background. That's some big titties.
They are very sophisticated.
We're smart, man. We're smart motherfuckers. That's why this is the best podcast, because we're smart motherfuckers regardless of what my family thinks about it.
No matter what my kindergarten teacher said, I'm gonna be somebody.
And they're so cool.
My group of friends were a good group of friends. We weren't gangbangers. We were drinkers, smokers.
Bitch getters.
This is the Sorry I'm Not Sorry podcast.
I got a girl who likes to fuck me all the time. So, everybody, welcome back to the Sorry I'm Not Sorry podcast. It's me, the DEP. You can follow me on Twitter at DEP_sense. That's depth. But ladies, it can be deep. I'm going to turn it over to my best friend, my main man. Tell him who you are.
It's your boy. It's always your boy. It's Holly. Yeah, man.
Yo, how you been, bro?
Yo, man. I think that song is inspirational, man. I listened to that song the other day and it made me feel good.
Definitely. It has like a doo-wop feeling to it.
Yeah, it does. I love it, man. It's so great. And
I wish Gnarls Barkley came back out with some more music.
Between Saint Elsewhere and The Odd Couple.
Oh yeah.
Two fucking classics, man.
Save my soul now.
Mm-hmm.
My shit.
Two classics. I love both of those albums. Two of my favorites.
How I found out about that song, Kanye used to have a blog. It used to be called Kanye University Blog.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It was a while ago when he was still doing like the teddy bear coloring shit.
Oh, okay.
And he had a video on the blog where he had like a circular, like a revolving desk in his studio.
Right.
And he was playing that in the background and the desk was spinning to it. I was like, oh, that's on fire.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice, man. Shout out to K Weezy, man.
I thought you were going to shout out to CeeLo.
Shout out to CeeLo too. I mean, Gnarls Barkley he's been fired. He's been fired. You know, we all know.
Like, even from the Goody Map, the Dungeon Family, he's always been like on point.
I see you driving around town with the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you.
So I think about that song, and I'm like, you's a bitch.
If I was richer, I'd still be with ya. Now ain't that some shit? That's that shit.
First off, if you riding around town with the girl I love, fuck her, and I'ma fuck your friend. Just saying, I'm petty. Oh, you just riding around with that nigga? I don't call your homegirl Kim. See what she talking about.
Shout out
what kind of panties she got on. And it usually worked. This is a long time ago. Long
time ago.
So
play it ease.
So back to the Smiling Faces song. Mm-hmm. Back when I was in undergrad, I used to take the train from Long Island to Jersey for summer classes. Mm-hmm. And that was on my playlist heavy. And I would listen to it every morning, half sleep on the Long Island Railroad.
Nice.
Penn Station.
Nice, man. I'm just happy to be back recording, man. We got so much to talk about. It's so much going on right now.
So bring us in. What do you want to start?
Let's start with everything going on. The protesting, the looting, the craziness, the cops. I mean, where do we actually start?
We start by saying rest in peace to George Floyd.
Right.
That's the only place where I can start.
Right. And between George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, who was also killed, quote unquote, by accident.
Then there was a restaurant owner in Kentucky.
Yeah. No. It was No, I think it was Georgia.
No, it wasn't Georgia. It
Hold
was
on,
in the Midwest.
let me look at my notes. Um, or was it
Oh, they killed someone in Georgia too.
where's Lil Wayne and them from?
Louisiana?
Louisiana. It might have been Louisiana.
Nah,
Fuck did
it
my
was
phone go?
Louisville. Louisville.
Louisville. There you go. There was a Louis in it.
Yeah.
Louis.
By the way, Louisville's in Kentucky, motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
So it has been a constant struggle, time and time again, and we're dealing with death, and especially death of unarmed Black people in America.
Yo. I mean, good Lord, goodness gracious. When is it going to stop? First of all, second of all, these protests. The protesting is. I mean, how many times are we going to protest before there's an actual change? We've been doing it for so long. What's going to be the last fucking protest? And I'm not asking you, I'm just throwing a question out there.
No. That's a real question. When all this went down and everyone started protesting, I was pulling up pictures from other protests I was a part of, like Eric Garner,
Right.
Alton Sterling, different Black Lives Matter protests. And it's like, we are here again at this very trying point where, like, all I can do is pray for my son's daughter. Right? Because this shit is so fucking hard.
And they're watching. Like, my kids are a little bit older than yours. Maybe more of a lot of bit older than yours.
Yeah, I'm significant.
I mean, our daughters are the same age, but I mean, my kids are watching this shit, and I've had to explain to them recently, like, yeah, we live in a country where people hate us because of the color of our skin. My oldest son is 16 years old, and he just left to go back to Florida to visit his mother, because that's where his mother lives.
Summer?
Which is, yeah, for the summertime. And I had to explain to him, while you're in Florida, man, you have to watch, what, especially because they're free, they're out there now. COVID doesn't exist down there anymore. We're in a position where it's like, I'm having to explain to him, if you get approached by an officer, there's a certain way that you have to, handle yourself. The problem is, it's Florida, and when they see that he's a New York kid, because he's not gonna have an accent, he's not very familiar with the area. A cop may fuck with him more just because he's not from there. So I really have been praying for my son to make sure that he, that he's okay down there, especially in these crazy times. And he may want to be out with his friends that he got down there, and it's crazy, man. What do you think about? How do you feel about the looting and the what do you call it?
Fighting,
The
protesting,
destruction.
all that. Honestly, there's a part of me that's sad, but there's a part of me that's like, let that motherfucker burn.
Yeah, I get it.
Because we all know you reap what you sow.
Right.
And I'm not saying that everyone whose businesses are burning down deserves it.
Right.
But I mean, America as a whole, you deserve this civil unrest.
Right. I think this. I'm with you on that. I feel like the civil unrest needs to be heard right now. Our civil unrest needs to be heard right now. The fact that when you watch the news, it's a lot more white people that's doing the destruction.
Yes, and that's something I definitely want to talk about, where just because they're walking alongside of you doesn't mean they with you.
And I'm with you on that, because so the there's been things going on. There's been things coming out saying, like, a lot of some of those white people are agents. Some of those white people are cops, you know, and they're creating this destruction that Black Lives Matter, you know, that the black protesters are getting blamed for, and this is what further creates that divide, and you know, we always gonna get blamed for everything. You know,
Yeah.
whenever Trump gets himself into some shit, he blames Obama for it. So a black person is always gonna get blamed for what, you know, the bullshit that we're doing, that we're doing in America.
I agree, man, and it's sad, right? We're in 2020. You can
Yeah.
watch movies from the 80s, and they talk about 2020 like it's the ultimate future.
Right.
It's a new world. Cars fly.
Right.
Food cooks itself, and you can get anything. In 2020, I have to remind you that my Black life matters.
Right. That's deep. Let that motherfucker burn. I don't like, if I was out there in the front lines, I wouldn't be destroying and burning down shit, to be honest. I think another problem is that there are people out there who probably didn't have a job at the start of COVID, and probably lost their jobs as the result of COVID, and these people are angry, and it's mostly the younger people. They're angry because they're not working. That stimulus check wasn't enough. You know, there wasn't much put in place for any of us to survive through the COVID situation. Bills still got to be paid. Your utilities will still get cut the fuck off.
Yep.
There's no forgiveness there.
One thing I find very upsetting, right? So my mortgage company emails me at least 2-3 times a week, and they say,
Right.
"Hey,
Nigga, you still making money? Because we
no,
still
no,
gotta
no.
get paid."
I pay my mortgage, but what they're saying is, oh, if you're having a tough time, we'll give you a deferment for 3 months. But after the 3 months is up, you gotta give
pay
them
4 months worth.
everything.
Yeah, that
You gotta
is
give them
some
4 months mortgage, 3 months back, and current.
fucking
was like,
shit.
I'm like, if someone didn't have it for 3 months, they're not gonna have 4 months.
They're not gonna have 4 months worth right at the beginning. Like, that's bullshit.
And I think it's so fucked up.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Because I think it's fucked up, one, because they're still accruing interest on the money owed. So
Right.
it's not like they're doing you any favors.
No.
They're making money in the long term. And that's fucked up.
Right. Ugh, yo. And they're not making money in the long term. A lot of people are gonna get fucked up by that.
Yeah.
A lot of people may lose their house because of that shit. Because why file for the deferment when by the time 4 months goes by, they want all of your mortgage in one shot? That makes no sense.
Yo, I think it's very troubling. It's the same thing for rent too. If
Right.
you get a deferment, they want it all in 3
Right.
months, and it's fucking horrible. And this goes to another point, that America only cares about the business,
They don't.
not
Yeah.
the people.
Well, think about that. How much was the stimulus package? What was
It was like 2 trillion or
3
6
trillion?
trillion. I thought it was saying, I don't know. It was a couple trillion.
Most of that shit went to the big companies,
Yep.
to the big corporations,
Yep.
because in their mind, if you pay the big corporations, the shit will trickle down. If nobody has been paying attention in the past couple of years, these big corporations are not about paying their workers.
No. They don't want to raise minimum wage.
They're investing in artificial intelligence. Like you go to Target and everybody goes in the self-checkout line any fucking way. So now you don't have cashiers. You don't need cashiers. I mean, I go in the self-checkout because, sometimes you might want to, scan something and put something in the cart. Scan something, put something in the bag.
I always go to a person because the lines are shorter.
Yeah, nowadays because everybody's in the self checkout.
Yeah, that's
I
why
get
I'm
it.
like, yeah, I'm
I
gonna go
get
to
it.
the person line.
But
Um, I
people,
do
people,
use
these.
self checkout at the grocery store because I
Oh yeah,
fucking hate
yeah, yeah.
talking to people at the grocery
Right,
store.
right. Especially like a BJ's or a Costco or something like that. It's like, let me just skip having to deal with the cashier here. Let me just do the shit myself. Again, because I want to scan something and throw something in the bag, scan something, throw something in the
Got it.
bag.
Got it. That's a crime, by the way.
It is, but you know what? It's better I do that than I go bust in somebody's window, bust in Gucci's window and start stealing all their shit. I
Yo,
heard
did
Fifth
you
Ave
hear?
out here in New York is done. It's like destroyed.
Did
Fifth
you
Ave
hear
is
about the
gone.
Rolex store in Soho?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
So what's crazy is, right? So they broke into the Rolex store. The cops reported $2.4 million of Rolexes gone.
Yeah, but it was really 2.5, but they took their own share.
So Rolex said nothing was missing, everything was in a safe.
Yeah. That's some bullshit.
And that's just like, to your point, it's like this COINTELPRO, right?
So yeah,
It's
go ahead.
this conspiracy to make things look a lot worse than what it is.
You know, it's funny because when the news started preaching this whole agency, yeah, I mean, there was agents, there's cops, there's cops in here starting shit. It's believable. It's believable
Yeah, they
because,
have videos of them doing it.
right. Um, but at the same time, there are white people there. There are white people there that are like, we've had enough of this inequality shit. I do feel like at the same time, if you're white and you're looting and you're destroying shit, I really don't feel like you're here for the cause
No, you're doing it solely to get your rocks off.
because you're
If
angry. You
yeah,
probably don't. You probably lost your job because
so,
you
so
ain't
to
you ain't
me,
destroying shit. You ain't destroying shit if you got a job.
if you angry and white, imagine how I feel as a black man in this country.
Right. And you realize that the white people carry a whole lot of anger on them for no reason.
Yo, it's very sinister, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, I think so I'm in Virginia. Someone sent me some pictures of the protests and it's going down.
Yeah.
There is a Confederate monument of Robert E. Lee, the
Yeah.
general of the
Yeah.
Confederate Army.
Mm-hmm.
And people just spray painted it. I saw someone said, fuck Trump on the side. I was like, good point. Um,
Yeah.
and like people are just like they're trying to take it down themselves, but the governor said we're gonna get rid of this shit. But one
That's
thing
good.
to me is why do we have to get to this point for you to listen, or do you realize that this shit should have never been up? So I found out that Richmond was the capital of the Confederacy.
Mm.
So there's all kinds of like Civil War um, regalia hanging around. It's bad enough it's a big Confederate flag right off of I-95 that hangs and flies. And we have highways and stuff and schools named after people like Jefferson Davis, who was a huge racist and bigot.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy when when you realize how much this country was this American country that we live in right now was solely built for the empowerment of white people. Like we have no wins in this place, man, in this area. We don't. It wasn't made for everything that they wrote in the Constitution. Not for us.
No, it was never designed with us in mind. It
I
was
mean, we got to
like we
understand
hold
one
these
thing.
truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Nigga, get me some ink.
Right. Right. Oh shit, I ran out of ink. Nigga. Where that nigga? Also, we understand that the police, as many black people that we have on the force in our police forces now, throughout the country, the police wasn't made for us either.
No, they were made for us, but not to protect us, only to
Right.
corral us and round us up and report us back to slavery.
Yo, that shit is crazy. It's crazy what's going on nowadays. First of all, before the whole protesting thing, you know, when it comes to police have to understand that the same way that America treats us are the same way that we have to treat them at this point. So when you personally get into a crowd of white people, you're one of the good ones, right?
Huh.
White people could fuck with you because you're one of the good ones. You know,
I hate that shit.
yeah, exactly. But at this point, cops have to be treated the same way. And cops really have to be treated that way because you have the dickheads and then you have the cool ones. You have the ones that actually are there to do their job, which is to protect and serve, according to what we pay our civilian taxes for.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say all the bullies are racist, are blatantly racist, but they're fucking bullies. And
It's not, it may not be explicit racism, but there is implicit bias that
right, part of the problem.
perpetuates white supremacy.
Right. And the fact that, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen a video or a screenshot of what exactly was done to George Floyd. This was murder. It was murder. I mean, and I say that on behalf of most of the people whose deaths were publicized.
Yep.
Even since the Obama, administration, since the Obama era. These people are being murdered and the bullies are getting away with it. But when this shit was big in the high schools, we couldn't tolerate it. We couldn't tolerate that shit.
Is Dylan Roof still alive?
Yeah, of course he is. I'm not sure whether he's serving time in jail or not. I have no idea how.
He's in prison.
Okay.
That was mostly a rhetorical question.
Right.
That
exactly.
This man walked into a church and killed people, 9 people.
Killed 9 people.
Because they were
shot
black.
more people than just 9, but killed 9 people. And they before he went to jail, he got Burger King.
And water. He had
water.
The cop was giving him like water, like a fucking hamster in a tank.
George Floyd gave somebody a fake 20 or a couple of fake 20s and died for it. You know what I'm saying? Everett Gardner was selling cigarettes.
Lucy's.
Yeah.
Yo.
When a cop up the block sell cigarettes, sell Lucy's, and that nigga ain't died yet.
Yo, when a cop takes the life of an unarmed person, no matter if they're black, white, doesn't matter. What happens is they become the judge, the jury, and the executioner in that moment, and that totally vacates innocent till proven guilty, a right to a fair trial, all that shit, habeas corpus, all that.
That adds into a rant that I have against white people right now, but I want to finish talking about the police. There are some cops that are kneeling. There are some cops that are marching. There are some cops that are bullying. In Buffalo, yesterday or a few days ago, an over 70-year-old man was
It's
pushed.
75.
75-year-old man was pushed on the ground. Peace always with a man that has a history of being a peaceful protester in Buffalo, New York. They pushed him to the ground. I watched the video. They pushed him to the ground, and he immediately started bleeding from his head and ears.
Which means his brain was bleeding.
As he laid still on the ground, not moving, not being able to move.
I thought he was
And
dead.
when one police officer went to bend over to look at him, the police officer behind him pushed the police officer, encouraging him to keep moving and don't bother with the 70 plus year old man. This shit like that is the reason why the protesters are out here destroying shit and looting shit, because we can't take any more of that. Shit like that is also why white people are moving with us, because cops are there. There are a lot of cops out there that are just fucking bullies, because they feel like they hold. There's always I always go back to this when I talk to people. I always go back to this Patrice O'Neal joke about middle management. Patrice O'Neal has this joke about, I don't know it verbatim, but he has this joke about middle management where he's basically like, middle management is like the most powerful position, because they feel like, because they have some sort of power, because they like to flex. They're the main people who like to flex their power.
Mm-hmm.
The middle management, and although he made it a joke, it's so real, because when you think about it, cops are middle management. The cops are you have civilians that can make a civil civilians arrests, but then you have the cops. The cops, people have to protect their own property in their own areas, but then you have the cops that protect the law. But then they're the middlemen that gets you to the court. And then you have the DAs, the judge, and the jury. So they're basically a middleman, but they are the main ones that like to flex their fucking power and, do whatever they want with it. They bully, they can. I know cops that fuck, flexing their power.
What?
That fuck girls.
Oh yeah.
Flexing their power. Trying to flex their whatever power struggle that they have. It's really cops need to understand that they are just niggas with jobs. They are niggas with jobs. Like you don't know the law. They're not taught the law. They have a book. They're given a little handbook in training, but they're not taught the law. They're just taught to enforce.
How long is the police academy? 8 weeks?
6, I think.
I was thinking 6, so I gave them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So
out here in New York, I believe it's 6 weeks. Everywhere else, I don't know. As far as I know, outside of New York, they're not as well trained as New York police, and in New York still holds their own record of misappropriating their power. Power.
Let's say 8 weeks. Let's give them a benefit of the doubt. What can you learn in 8 weeks that can prepare you for diffusing life-threatening situations? Like a doctor goes to school for many years. A lawyer goes to school for many years.
Right.
So what can he learn, the cop, in 8 weeks that will help diffuse the situation? Or are that in that 8 week times they're teaching how to kill, how to shoot, how to disarm, and how to inflict hurt physically?
Right. And somebody, I forgot who, but there was a woman I was listening to that mentioned that these cops are not necessarily taught how to diffuse a situation. They're more taught how to, engage
Yeah.
a situation. And it makes so much fucking sense, man. It's there needs to be some type of reform. And when Obama was president, I will add, when Obama was president, he did try to, exercise some reform for the police, um, which included uh
It included some data collection and statistics
right,
of when a cop uses force
right,
and discharges their weapon.
and demilitarizing, the police.
Yeah.
And of course, when Trump came into effect, he rolled that shit back. He's like, get that shit out of here.
Of course, because a black man did it.
Yeah. The black man did it.
Yeah. You know what else I've been thinking about? This illustrates white privilege.
Yeah.
A black man who went to the best law school in the world. He was the editor of the Law Journal, the first ever. Someone highly intelligent, spent time in the Senate.
Yeah.
Then became president of the United States. A man who arguably bought his degree from Wharton, who's bankrupted many companies, who gets over on the little guys, constantly became the president of the United States. To me,
all of a sudden he's the hero.
Yeah, to me, that's white privilege. That his white mediocrity was good enough to get him to the White House.
Right.
Obama excelled constantly over his peers and still wasn't good enough to some people.
And that's another thing that bothers me that white people don't understand, is that black people have to work so much harder to get
twice as hard, twice as smart
to get to the same place. Like, and in some cases it's more than twice as hard. Sometimes it's 4 times, sometimes it's 8 times, sometimes it's 10 times. You know what I'm saying?
In the case of Trump and Obama, it has to be like leaps and bounds.
Right. In that Buffalo case, the 2 police officers that pushed and bullied that old man were suspended without pay, and then 57 officers quit that force in support of the 2 cops that was suspended.
That unit or the force?
That unit.
Okay.
That unit. This shit like that bothers me because it still shows that there's so many people who don't really understand.
To me, it just shows how real the blue line is, right?
Right.
And the blue cover and the blue code.
Yeah.
That for them doing wrong, being caught on tape, caused 57 other men to stand by their side, only because they have a badge and wear blue.
So let's talk about Trump. Trump, as we continue to protest, Trump is threatening to send the military, the National Guard, whoever, because the National Guard isn't always counted as the military.
No, they aren't.
If you ask the military.
It's like the Army Reserve, nigga. Like,
and he's right. And he's basically not basically, he's straight up saying the cops need to the cops and the military need to take over the streets. That's what he said from his own fucking mouth.
Yep.
That
he told the governors, don't be weak.
Don't be weak. send the forces out there to take over the streets. This is the least sign of patriotism, and it's way more of a fascist, mentality than anything.
I think Kim Jong-un would do that
Right.
as a dictator.
Kim Jong-un, Hitler would have done that.
Yeah, and Mad Dog Mattis said that exactly.
Right.
He is seeking to separate or divide like the Nazis.
Right. Trump is he's not about the people. Obviously not about the people.
He's about the person himself.
Right. Trump. So, the protests in DC, Trump decided, I want a photo op in front of this burned down church. And,
Was it burned down?
I think it was burned down. Something happened to it. It was boarded up.
Okay. It wasn't burnt down. Another church in the nearby blocks was burnt down.
Okay. And so he staged like a tear gassing, rubber bullet situation for, with his guards.
With the protesters, right?
Right.
Side note, have you ever seen the size of a rubber bullet?
It's almost like the size of it's a little smaller than a paintball, right?
No.
It's bigger than a paintball?
Them shits look like, I'm trying to think, it's about, I'm showing, it's about the size of my watch.
Oh, seriously?
It's not bigger.
I thought them shits were smaller than that. I thought they were like they were like bigger than BBs, but smaller than paintballs.
Nope. You thinking about like the
pellets.
Yeah, no. Them shits is like fucking like I don't know. I'm looking.
So them shits is still hurt like a motherfucker.
So if you see like on the internet, people are posting videos of them with like their pictures of them with their heads cracked open and their eyes hanging out the socket.
What?
It's because they got shot with rubber bullets.
Yo, that's some crazy shit. Hold on, I'm trying to Google what a rubber bullet looks like right now.
Yeah, you're gonna be wow. So I think so let's talk about that photo op for a second.
Yeah,
so
let's do it.
For him to break up a peaceful protest with acts of violence, only for him to take a picture holding a Bible, which was very weird the way he held it.
It almost seemed like he had never held a book ever in his hand before, especially not a Bible.
Who holds a book like this? He held it just like this. Like what? So for me, what I thought was weird, right? If you put that much effort into it, you could have got a book that said Holy Bible on front.
Yeah.
Right. And then
it could have been the Art of the Deal, just with the Holy Bible written over it. But I see what you're saying though. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at pictures of rubber bullets right now. Them shits are crazy.
Yeah. So Reverend Al Sharpton at George Floyd's memorial service, he goes, maybe President Trump should have opened the book and read. And he could have learned something.
Right.
But Trump's not the type of man to read.
Right, exactly. Well, it's sickening, man. I don't know when people are going to realize that Trump is not about the people. On his way onto a flight somewhere, he told the press, MAGA loves black people. MAGA loves black people.
He loves black people. They love African Americans.
Yeah. Trump, I want my black Americans, my African Americans and black Americans to know Trump cares nothing about us. He cares nothing about us. He cares nothing about about black people. He cares nothing about rich black people. He cares nothing about middle class black people, and he doesn't give a shit about poor black people.
Yo, I wonder what the hell is going through Ben Carson's mind right now.
I want to know what's going through any of these black people's minds that support him. Like this is some of the biggest coonery that that you can ever perceive. It's really sickening at this point.
Yo, did you see Candace Owens like rant about George Floyd?
No.
So basically, she was saying that she's not gonna uplift the criminal. He was a bad person, and he doesn't need the support and rallying behind him.
Wow. And where did she get that information from? Because
I have no idea.
Because if you go through social media, all you'll see is a different post about George Floyd and his mentality. His mentality was definitely peaceful. He may not have been Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, but he was all about peace between his community, because that's all you got in certain cases.
Yeah.
When you're black in America, the only thing you have is your community.
Yo, Candace Owen looks like a laundromat teddy bear. Like, I was looking at her in the face. I was like, you sure is ugly.
I can't stand that bitch, man. I don't get it. I don't get where. First of all, so I mean, I've even watched. I didn't see Candace Owens, but I seen Tommy Lauren. Tommy Lauren went on live on IG the other day,
content.
and she was basically talking about the police, like encouraging the police, and like, I don't see why people hate the police so much. I feel sorry for people who have police in their family. The police are here to protect us. And it's like, first of all, as gorgeous of a white woman as you are,
yeah,
please shut the fuck up.
She looks like spoiled milk.
Yo, I love me some Tommy Lauren. I'm not gonna lie. I had to turn her down and just watch her for a second, and then it's you don't understand. You don't understand what black people go through, especially her. You're a white woman. You have no idea what black people go through. And you might be able to post some black friends that you have on Instagram and yada yada, but you have no idea what black people go through. As cute as you are, because she is cute. I mean, I can't.
No, she's not.
Can't deny that. Much better looking than Candace Owens. Sorry, I hear an alarm going off and it sounds like mine. But I ain't got shit in my car. Actually I do. But yeah, man, Trump, as far as Trump goes, first of all, when what's the nigga's name? Mad Dog Mattis. What's his first name?
I don't know. Mad Dog. Mad. Mad is his first name. Dog is his middle name.
So Mattis basically said that his rule in the country right now is almost, Nazi-like. And
I can see it.
Yeah. And he and then Trump of course responded with, he's overrated. He said something to the likes of the one thing that him and Obama have in common is that they both had the pleasure in firing him. And
He didn't fire Mad Dog Mattis.
right.
It's all revisionist history. Like,
And the fact that he said that his nickname was Chaos, but that he changed it to Mad Dog. But that's not true because
they've
he's
been
always
calling him
had
Mad Dog Mattis within the army for a very long time.
right. His first name is Jim.
Oh.
So it's, I mean, when you blatantly lie like that, first of all, he's the most petty. He's the most what do you call it?
Bitch
What do
ass?
you No, what do you call it when it's like when he's immature?
Yeah.
You know, his pettiness is so on it's such an elementary level of
As a
pettiness.
king of
It's
petty. I know.
it's just yeah, but no, but it's just as bad as a I know you are, but what am I type of level of pettiness that
Like his retorts aren't even intelligent.
they're not.
And it's very disgusting for him to go and tell that a 5-star general wasn't that good at his job. Do you know what it takes to be a 5-star general? You have to be appointed by, I believe, a president, or either that or a defense secretary or one of the joint chiefs. And I don't think Trump has gotten a compliment from his first grade teacher.
Yo, so Obama came on. Yo, man, my news is all over the place. But Obama was on what the fuck was it?
I thought he was streaming live from his website.
I think it was, but I feel like he was on something. Obama delivered the tragic times facing our expressed feelings of optimism. Blah 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 blah. I forgot where he was, but he was talking to he was did you hear that speech? Did you watch it?
Nah, I listened to the highlights. I had the kids. I didn't.
Right.
They don't be quiet for nothing.
So basically, Obama sounded what I liked about this particular speech is that Obama sounded presidential. Like he sounded like he was still our president.
Yeah, he was seeking to unify.
Right. And I'm sure Trump had a problem with that, but for anybody who heard the Obama or watched the Obama speech, that's the type of representation or the leadership that we desire at this point, that we need at this point,
that we deserve. Well,
Trump,
maybe not all of us deserve it.
I need people to know that Trump gives no fucks about black people. None. He cares nothing about black people. Not about the rich, not about the middle class, and damn sure not the poor. So now I want to jump into Whitey. White people. White people. One message I will give to you right now. Shut the fuck up. I need white people to stop giving their 2 cents on what they think about the protest. I need white people to stop feeling like they need to say anything.
Right on.
I need white people to stop it. Even if you support the cause, do it silently. If you have no education on what black people have had to do from this point, what we'd had to deal with from back then up until this point, shut the fuck up. There are too many white people out here who are giving their opinion on whether on the protesting, the rioting, the looting, the destruction. There are too many fucking white people who are giving their opinions on George Floyd, on the cops. Shut the fuck up. I need you to shut the fuck up. Well, white people don't understand, well, especially today, because we live in such a time where it's everybody has ADD. Everybody has such a heavy case of ADD that we forget what this country was built on. Fuck your flag. Fuck your flag. Fuck your country. Fuck your patriotism. Fuck everything that you've ever stood for at this point. Because black people, your flag, your patriotism, your country was not built for black people to be successful. It wasn't built for us. It was built, first of all, it was built on the free labor of black people. I mean, I just want white people to learn. White people need to learn at this point. They just need to learn. They need to shut the fuck up and listen. Shut the fuck up and listen. To be honest, I don't even care about white people protesting with us, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't care for white people to protest with us. White people can just sit the fuck down and watch and listen and learn, because they're giving too much of their opinions, whether they're liberals, whether they're conservatives, whether they're Democrats, whether they're Republicans, or whatever the fuck you think you are. Shut the fuck up and listen. Black people, the police wasn't created for black people to serve and protect black people. They were created to round up black people.
Mm-hmm. Like a herder.
Right. The American Constitution, we just said it earlier. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all the men are created equal. And then right after that, they cracked the whip over a black man's back and said, get back to work.
And then they also said you are 3/5 of a person.
So let me get to the 3/5 thing. So, in the 1700s, they created the census. Obviously, we know if you're actually a person with common sense, not all white people were slave owners in America at the time of slavery. Mostly, it was the rich people. It was really the rich people that owned slaves at the time of slavery. So, which I would have to get Joe Levels on the podcast to explain more about that, but that kind of debunks a lot of the numbers of enslaved people in the country, because certain regions didn't. So if mostly the rich people, if only the rich people own slaves, and certain regions didn't even, then that means certain regions didn't even have slavery. So there were some free people running around. It was just that some people were slaves. But I'll get into that in a whole other podcast.
All right. I'd be interested to hear this analysis.
There definitely weren't millions of people that were brought from Africa over here to be slaves, because only the rich people had slaves. And so because a lot of the rich white people had so many slaves, they weren't counting each individual black person as 3/5 of a person. They were only counting 3/5 of their population of slaves. And that's what was, put into the Constitution. I don't know why. It was a census thing. I would have to dig deeper into that situation, but it wasn't that each individual black person was counted as 3/5 of a person. It was that 3/5 of the slave population in these, on these plantations were counted.
It's the same thing.
It's basically the same thing. Math-wise, is basically the same thing. It's just that the difference is some people just weren't counted at all. Some black people weren't counted as as the population at all. rather than each individual person we're only counted as 3/5 of a person. This country was built on our free labor as enslaved people. White people did not have to go through that in America. Black people, when we were free, there was racism. They were able to lynch us in front of crowds.
Mm-hmm.
We were lynched in front of crowds. The cops were created to round up runaway slaves, primarily.
Or to take a free man and introduce him back into slavery.
Right. Once we were free, there was segregation. Segregation brought in Jim Crow, lynchings, still a superiority. There was no equality in the beginning of the 1900s. There was still no equality. We were segregated, but we were still not equal. We were free, we were segregated, but we still weren't equal. What else? Help me out here. What else went on?
Wait, it was segregation, Jim Crow, the war on drugs, crack epidemic, HIV, AIDS.
White people, the country was not built for us. It was not built. It was not made for us. So when you can sit here and say, "Oh, well, we had a black president, so racism is over." So why are we still being abused? Why are we still being, why are we still being singled out? Why are we the face of poverty still? Why were the ghettos built, to keep us down?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. About 7 years ago, I went to the March on Washington 50th anniversary, and I got interviewed by Newsday, and I said that we are moving towards a post-racial society, and boy, was I fucking wrong.
Yeah, and I don't think you're completely wrong, because I think when you look at it now, we've made a lot more progress. Excuse me. We've made a lot of progress. At the same time, as we've made progress as a people, as a whole, society, politics, everything has still conspired on our demise consistently. They just find new ways to do it. White people need to understand that every time something bad happens to America, black people get affected the most, even up to Corona, even up to COVID-19. Black people get affected the most. When we go through a depression, black people get affected the most. Why? Because systematically we've already been conspired against to stay down when we're already down. There's a lot of, with the progress that we've made as black people, we've been able to become rich. We've been able to become wealthy. We've been able to get into the middle class, which is, more our field, and survive. But there's still a lot of people who are not there. There's still a whole lot of people that are not there. And it's because if you've been to jail, you don't have the same opportunities as white people who've been to jail.
White privilege.
And then obviously when you get pulled over by police for committing a small crime, you don't get the same opportunities.
So let's not say because you committed a crime. Let's say you're innocent. An innocent black man and an innocent white man can possibly have different fates in that
Right.
situation.
The 94 crime bill, when Joe Biden went on Breakfast Club to speak to Charlemagne, he said the thing with the 94 crime bill, with the minimum sentence, with the minimum what do you call it,
Sentencing guidelines.
with the minimum sentencing guidelines, he said, Joe Biden, from what I took, tried to explain that the reason why those minimum sentences were put in place is because there was an inequality of white people and black people getting, going down for the same crime but not doing the same time. The problem with that was they didn't realize that black people were going to be targeted more, for those particular crimes, where white people were going to get away with it more.
So, what does that really mean? That you didn't think about it? Well, what about all these millions of people whose lives have been impacted because you didn't think about it that way?
Right. It's no excuse. What I'm trying to explain to white people is that anything that happens, anything that's put in place is going to affect us more, because the country has been built to conspire against us, black people. And we don't know why. I mean, I personally think I know why, but nobody knows why. And I think there's some white people who don't know why, who don't understand why, and they've had it. And they're like, we've had it with this inequality. Everybody is a person. Treat everybody the right way, or we're going to burn this motherfucker down.
I just think everyone needs to listen to Jane Elliott.
Yeah.
She can teach a lot of her kind of white people a lesson. She
Right.
was on Jimmy Fallon this past week, and she was telling, and she was doing her normal thing. Like, there's no such thing as a white person, as a black person, as a yellow person. We are one race, human race. That's it.
Right.
And she said, she was just like, white people, get off your high horse. You came from an African person. Your ancestors just moved way into the mountain.
Right.
And that's
Caucasus.
why.
Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, and that's why your pigment is lighter.
It also bothers me when white people come up with these what you call it, my mind is going on me right now. What do you call it when they basically put these certain statistics on us, because it's like we stereotypes, there you go, thank you. They place these stereotypes on us that we're the face of poverty. We just want to live off the government. We're not, we're basically not inspired to do more in life. But you white fucks, this country wasn't designed for us to prosper. It wasn't. And another thing is, statistically, white people are the the highest, they rank the highest in poverty. Mainly
that's only because of the factor of there being so many white people in the country.
Right. And we need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of that. We need to get that statistic down a little bit, a lot of it. We can do more without, with less white people in the world. And but no, seriously though. But why are we the face of it? If that's the case, why are black people the face of poverty? If there are statistically more white people who live in poverty than black people do, why is it that every time white people see black people, they automatically think that we're from the ghetto or we're from the hood. But they can't account for, white people can't account for trailer park motherfuckers who live the same way they stereotypically put on us. Poor, steal, drugs, crime, they put the same shit on us, but white people are white people live in poverty the most. It really bothers me. And I don't really know what's the what's the way to get out of it. I heard somebody say the three evils in America are poverty, racism, and militarism.
Okay.
And
I can see that.
I think
we need to add greed in there, but
I think our current administration exerts at least 2 out of 3 of those things.
Okay.
Excuse me. The racism and the militarism. Because
right,
because they praise Trump for being such a such a successful billionaire that he's supposed to get our country in order economically. One thing to somebody, I think, is it Bob Johnson? Bob Johnson is fighting for
$14 trillion in reparations.
So is $14 trillion that hard to get up for us in reparations? Because they just spent $2 or $3 trillion on the country, period.
Listen, it's always too much money when it's in terms of black.
Right.
It's always too much.
It kills me, man.
We are hitting an hour and 10 minutes. You want to go to Wakanda to happier times?
Yeah, I guess let's do it.
All right, my brother. Everybody, if you fuck with us, you stuck with us, come on back. We gonna have some fun in the land of Wakanda. I'm out.
Don't go away. More trash talk coming your way after we go pee-pee.
You have arrived in Wakanda. Please make sure you have all of your belongings. Thank you for flying, and be prepared for some nigga shit.
Everybody, welcome back. Welcome to the wonderful land of Wakanda, where the skin is melanated, the women are beautiful, and the asses are fat. It's me, Depp, or as the ladies call me, Deep.
Yeah, man, in Wakanda, all black people are rich, wealthy beyond belief.
Ain't no place I'd rather be.
Word.
So, guys, it has been a very challenging time in America.
Mm-hmm.
With all the death surrounding us and the buildings burning and the rioting happened. But we just want to take a moment to celebrate George Floyd.
Yeah, man. Did you see the ceremony?
No, I didn't.
Oh, with Al Sharpton and all the celebrities that were there.
I didn't finish. I was trying to figure out why were there so many celebrities there.
I mean, there were black celebrities. They got to come together. I don't think there's anything wrong with the fact that black celebrities came through. I think at this point we understand that it's the last straw. It's just the last straw for this police brutality shit. We got to get rid of it. And I think a lot of celebrities are coming together. I don't know if it's a what do you call it? Nobody's working type of thing, type of situation. So people want to get some kind of shine to keep their presence, keep themselves relevant.
Nobody's working.
But I think it's fine, man. They had an 8-minute and 40-second moment of silence for him. Al Sharpton was there preaching his ass off.
So
Brought Tiffany Haddish up there.
So I watched a little of Ben Crump, who's the family's attorney.
Yeah.
And I watched a little of Al Sharpton's speech. Sermon. And then it just started to make my spirit heavy, so I just turned it off.
I get it.
I believe Ben Crump is an alpha. I gotta check that out. I don't know.
That's cool. So, I mean, the family got their own private autopsy after the Minneapolis, whatever you call it. What do you call them niggas that do autopsies?
The medical examiner?
Yeah. Basically said that he died from pre-existing conditions, and their own private, or the family's private autopsy basically said, outright said, yeah, no, he died from asphyxiation.
Yep.
He was basically choked to death, and when you watch the video from certain angles, you realize that it wasn't just the faggot that kneeled on the back of his neck. It was also a couple other faggots that and I don't mean gay people. Don't get me wrong, gay people. I don't call gay people faggots. I call bitch ass niggas faggots. Okay. That were also kneeling on his back, and all of them now are have had to turn themselves in and have been charged. I heard that the Asian nigga that was on the original video left town.
Where'd he go? Hong Kong?
I don't know. To Wuhan,
Hong Kong Fooey?
Fucking Wuhan, where he fucking belonged. I hope he came back with fucking COVID. But that's just that's my angry black man talking. Let me woosah and bring it down. So he, but at this point, I'm sure everybody had to turn themselves in, and they're all charged. And
they bumped the charges up to second degree.
Second degree and aiding and abetting to a murder for the other cops. It's I think we spoke about this in the first half. There's been a lot of different videos posted about George Floyd that he, you can tell the type of character that he had. He was all about peace within his community and within his people. And I think we just need to take that and take that memory of George Floyd. I didn't know him personally. None of us knew him personally, but we need to take that person and understand that he was an innocent man that was murdered. We also need to take into effect that he was also a amateur porn star who was murdered.
Do we celebrate that? Yo, so how did you find that?
When you know people that are just that much in the porn.
Recognize him from porn.
Yeah. It's funny because a podcast and radio show that I listened to, the host on it found the porn, but they found the porn, a while back before he actually died, and they had actually watched it.
And they saved it to their favorites?
Maybe. But for people who are asking, yes, George Floyd is packing. And his name in his porn name was Big Floyd.
I am very alarmed by this on many fucking levels.
What, that he was packing?
That you know that.
Oh, that I know he's packing. You'd be surprised how many people I know that are packing. Celebrities. You know, just regular niggas.
Regular niggas, nice.
Yeah,
You just out here checking for regular niggas' dicks. Got it. He
it's
doesn't stop at celebrities, everyone. He checking regular niggas' dicks too.
if you check out my OnlyFans page,
Yo, random question.
yeah,
This is not talking about princess. I'm talking about total hypothetical. If
okay,
you found out your girl had an OnlyFans page, would you flip?
yeah, yeah. Depends on what she was doing on the OnlyFans page.
There's not much to do on an OnlyFans page. Bitch ain't eating pizza.
Right, right. Um, at least, why am I not getting a cut of this shit?
So you trying to pimp her? Got it. Trying to pimp a butterfly?
I mean, hey, if you gonna do that shit on the low and not let me know, I should at least be reaping some benefits. Oh, we going out tonight? Oh, where'd you get that money from? Oh,
Oh,
I
we
mean,
getting steak and
okay.
lobster, huh? Straight
Right.
out your pussy. Yo, I also think it's very unfair in life that like women can make money hand over fist by showing their assets. Ain't nobody checking for my dick.
Well, pussy is
That
a
episode title.
nobody checking for my dick.
Nobody worry about me.
Pussy is like a, I don't want to say a natural resource, but it's like a renewable resource because you give it, you got it, you give it, and you still got it.
Well, so is dick.
Yeah, but dick isn't put on a pedestal as much as pussy is.
So I would think that the value of pussy would go down. Bear with me. Because of supply and demand. If there are more women than men in the world, that means that there is an abundance of pussy.
Yeah, but
High supply, demand's
but
the same.
but think
Price
about
drops.
it. But the price can drop, but if you hustle hard enough.
It's about your tricks, bitch.
Right.
What can you do?
Right, because when it comes to pussy, everybody can make their, like, remember porn isn't really watched for the dick. Porn is watched for the pussy.
Exactly.
So
unless Tyler's watching, then he's like, that nigga's packing.
That nigga's packing.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you a funny story.
Okay.
Long time ago. Long time ago.
I'm with you.
I was watching porn with my girlfriend.
Okay.
And this nigga pulled his dick out, and I cut the TV off. It's like, hold on, nigga. We not doing this.
Hold on, big fella, and I mean big fella.
So you notice I ain't say that, right?
No.
I was like, whoa. I think we need to watch Pokemon. Never seen Pikachu's dick. I was like, this is awkward.
That's titled to Pikachu's dick.
Nah, so yeah, that's the thing about watching porn with your girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think I could watch porn with my girl. That, that's not helping. It's not helping.
It's not conducive to my situation.
Yeah, that's not gonna help my situation. But
right, fair enough.
Shout out to Big Floyd though.
Oh gosh, I was gonna say the only Trump we support is Teanna.
I was gonna say really, I was gonna call him really Big Floyd.
Maybe that's what our officer was so upset. You know how white people are obsessed with black men's dicks?
Yo, it's I mean, I almost didn't want to talk about George Floyd and his porn because I don't want people to start looking it up. And
but you just couldn't help yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't, because it's obviously him. It's you know, and if that was a hustle that he needed to get through to make some bread, it's fine. He was still a good person, and not all. It's not. I'm not saying that people who do porn are bad people. You know, most of the time they're good.
I think, yeah, I like Teanna.
You can't be a conservative and do porn.
I
You could
feel
be a
like
conservative and be a
Kellyanne
slut.
Conway has sucked some dick on a tape.
Yo, listen, she's not conservative. She's a fucking hippie.
She's a whore. She's not conservative. She's giving the pussy to everybody.
Right. So yeah, I think George Floyd at this point, and I wish, and I guess to celebrate Breonna Taylor, today before we started recording would have been her birthday. She would have been 27 years old.
Yeah, should have been 27.
Yeah, and we just gotta understand, man. We can't take this shit no more. We can't take it. We have to get into a position where, I think the last episode. We talked about the fact that there are people out there that are demanding, certain policies from Joe Biden, or they're going to hold their vote hostage. And I get it, but I think these particular times have hopefully helped Black people understand that Trump doesn't give a fuck about us. He will just send the military to do his dirty work, and we will end up right back at where we started. And I think Black people need to understand that, and we need to go out there and vote and get Trump out of office, and then demand what we want from the new administration.
So I don't want to fall back into this
Right.
nether place. So we had a conversation offline where we talked about music being therapeutic.
Right.
So in these times, what are you listening to?
Well, we spoiler alert, we had this question on CUNY Radio.
Yep.
This episode may come out before CUNY Radio drops, so it's a spoiler alert.
But my answers are different.
Yeah. So I like hip hop because hip hop is kind of a rebel rebel without a cause, a rebel with a cause type of situation. And that appeals to me and my mentality the most. And it's songs like Kendrick Lamar's "The Blacker the Berry," songs like "Cop Killer" by Ice-T.
So wait. Let's go one for one.
Okay.
So you have to. I'll just take one. So you said K. Lamar. I'm going K. Lamar. All right, nigga. We gonna be all right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That will forever be my protest march song. I've been to protest and we broke out on like City Hall steps. Nigga, we gonna be all right.
Right. I like "Be Free" by J. Cole.
Yeah. All I wanna do is take the chains off.
Yeah. All I wanna do is be free.
Yo, there is an album.
Uh-huh.
It was a documentary on Netflix. It was called Soundtrack to a Revolution.
Uh-huh.
And there's a Roots, and I think it's Roots and Anthony Hamilton track.
Uh-huh.
And it goes, "This may be the last time. This may be the last time but the last time together. This may be the last time. Maybe the last time. I don't know."
That sounds like a Negro spiritual.
It was a civil rights song. So the whole premise of the documentary is like current artists remaking the civil rights era songs that they sung during the marches and stuff.
Right. There's a lot of records. I mean, even when you go back like Michael Jackson. One of my favorite songs, Michael Jackson. They don't really care about us. Yo, I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's
classic.
it's a classic, and it still applies.
Yeah.
So, and then on CUNY Radio, you brought up Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
For like what's going on.
Yeah.
Inner City Blues.
There's a
Records like
Marvin
that.
Gaye song
That's one of
called
my favorites.
Holy, Holy.
I heard that song. I know that song.
Yo, powerful shit.
Yo.
I've heard Marvin Gaye sing it, John Legend sing it, and Bill Withers sing it.
So this is my thing. It's another thing that I want white people to understand while we're in Wakanda is that we mentioned Kendrick Lamar, we mentioned J. Cole. Who did you mention?
The Roots.
You mentioned the Roots. You mentioned
Marvin Gaye.
We mentioned Marvin Gaye.
And one more. I listened to Beyonce and Kayla Mar Freedom.
Oh, Freedom. That's a great one. But then we also bring it back to Michael Jackson, like we said. We bring it back to Nina Simone,
Strange Fruit.
There are so many songs that express our struggle and everything that we've had to go through. White people, I mean, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed completely. It's gotten better because we've gotten black men and women in the force, and in the police force. We've gotten black men and women in law, judges. It's progressed this much, but it's still there. The struggle is still there between police brutality, systematic oppression, poverty. It's still there, and fortunately for us, the cultivators of cool, we've been able to express it through our talents. We've been able to express it through music. We've been able to express it through sports. We've been able to express it through our culture when it comes to the way we dress, the way we eat, the way,
the way we live.
The way we live on a regular basis. If white people now, if the tables turned and white people all of a sudden had to start going through the same struggles that they would be committing suicide like a motherfucker. And the suicide rate is not as high for black people as it is for white people to this day.
Yeah. It's starting to spike though, but that's just because of the climate.
But it's
COVID
because
it's this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but COVID's not suicide, but with drugs, with addictions.
Mm-hmm.
I think with addictions it's starting to come up a little bit. Because if you overdose on drugs, it's technically a suicide. I think, if you label it.
Okay.
But all of these songs are still prevalent to what's going on today. And, it's inspiring for us, but we need it to be inspiring for the oppressors to, and the people who and the people who this country was built for, to make a change, to help make a change for us, because our music isn't going to hit everybody's ears.
Or they won't understand it. They hear it, but they're not listening to it.
Right. And then you have so many white people who are so connected to our music and our culture, but don't know exactly what the fuck we've been through and what we're going through. and people need to realize it. People need to understand it. White people, because they don't understand it. Even if you're not a racist, you will say some racist, stupid shit because you don't understand what we've been through and what we go
You
through.
cannot be racist, but be ignorant and be
Right.
just as useless.
And be just as useless, and it's racist. It's racist to it,
Yeah, ignorance is the input into racism.
Yeah, man.
So, we talked about what we'll be listening to. What you watching?
So I finally watched. I finally got through the last OG. I didn't get through the third season yet.
Okay.
I finally got through the last OG, and it's a really good show. It's actually.
So last Father's Day, my wife bought me the last OG cookbook.
Oh, word! The prison, the last meal on wheels.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a peach cobbler recipe in the book I want to try.
Oh, nice.
But
you know who made a book like that? I think Prodigy. Rest in peace.
Yes, he did.
Prodigy from Mobb Deep made like a same kind of thing.
Okay. What else you watching? Wait. Before we jump into it. So, I'm trying to think. So you finished season 2?
Yeah.
So you saw Tiffany Haddish's Do the Right Thing dance?
I think so.
Okay. It's the last episode of season 2.
I can't tell you when's the last time I saw Do the Right Thing. So
Okay, fair enough. So, at first, when Trey first came home, I was like, him and Tiffany Haddish, they still love each other.
Yeah.
But now they still love each other, but he has respect for Josh.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. I also like Method Man's part in the show too.
Yeah, that was short-lived though.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I figured it was. I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell. But it's a really good show, man. I've also started watching I'm Not Your Negro. I never saw it.
I remember seeing it when it first came out. What you watching it on? I'm checking out.
Amazon.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I'm Not Your Negro really started hitting me, but I was like in the middle of like trying to clean up the house and take care of the kids, so I had to turn it off because I was like, I need to sit down and focus on watching.
Yeah, it's heavy.
So like
it's heavy.
20 or 30 minutes of it.
What else
have I been watching? Insecure.
Yo. Let's come back to that.
Yeah.
Let's come back to that.
Yeah.
So I've been watching season 2 of Rami is on.
Okay.
And Mahershala Ali is in it. He plays the imam.
Yeah, because he's a big Muslim too, isn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But this season is not as funny as it was before.
Okay.
But it's good, but it's not as funny.
He won an award for the first one, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What else? So don't laugh at me. Married at First Sight.
I don't know what that is.
It's a show on Netflix where people like they get hooked up and they get married the first time they see each other.
But do they build a relationship like online and shit like that first?
No. It's a matchmaker.
What is this?
The matchmakers.
It sounds like some Indian shit.
It's matchmaking. It's pretty prevalent in their culture.
It sounds like it's nice. Some Indian shit. Like I sell you some goats.
So it's 4 couples, 2 white couples, 2 black couples. And one of the black women, she is so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Her name's Irene. But it was pretty good. I didn't finish it, but I've been watching it. And then this colonizer show called Run. Now, let me give you the quick rundown of Run. Okay. So basically, it's these 2 people dated like 15 years ago, and they made a promise that if one person texts them run and the other replied, they would run off, meet at Grand Central, and take a train across the country.
Run! If you sell drugs in the school zone, run.
Run! So the show starts with a chick sitting in her car miserable. And she gets the message, run. So she sits in silence and then she hits run. And then she was somewhere in the Midwest. She caught a plane in New York, going to Grand Central, and they met up.
Did she get a head start before she texted run if she was already in the Midwest?
Nah. She got a 5-hour flight.
And what was the other person?
I don't know. I'm only 2 episodes in.
Midtown's like, damn, nigga, you said run. You ain't gonna be here for like 2 days.
This bitch got me waiting.
Yo, you know. Go ahead. What else you been watching? Because I want to make.
Wait. So I'm on episode 2, and I just found out that the woman is married with kids.
Oh shit!
What a piece of shit!
Damn, she just left her family like that.
Yep. But
I gotta watch it. Because it sounds crazy.
It's on HBO. I was watching it on HBO Max.
I watched this. I watched a show called The Space Force.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, it's stupid because it's Steve Carell, and I like the fact that Steve Carell's embracing his old manhood, and he's you guys rocking the grays.
Yeah, he got his salt and pepper out.
Yeah. But you realize that it's a parody based on
Trump.
A couple of years ago when Trump said that he wanted to take over space and send a space force out.
So I only watched like maybe half of the first episode, but then I got distracted with the kids. But I'm gonna pick it back up. I don't think my wife would like it, so I'm gonna enjoy it by myself.
Yeah, enjoy it by yourself. I think I only got into the second episode and it kind of started dragging already, but I'm gonna try to get back into it.
I just want to watch it just for the disrespect.
One thing I want to talk about is one of our childhood heroes, Iron Mike. Because if you flip through Netflix, you will find a few movies with Mike Tyson as like a main character.
A main character?
Not the nigga from Hangover, but as one of the main characters.
You got to tell me those names. I want to check that shit out.
He's in one of the Ip Man movies.
Yes.
The Kung Fu shits. And he's in another movie, I forgot, but it's another Kung Fu movie. It might be another Ip Man. I can't remember.
It might be Ip Man 2.
So he's in this Ip Man movie and he can't pronounce all his words. Like when he'll talk to the Ip Man dude and he'll speak in Japanese or whatever the fuck they do.
Some Asian language.
Origami or whatever.
They fold in cranes.
And
get the paper.
And he obviously has somebody doing a voiceover because he, it's Mike Tyson. He can't speak English, the best.
So heads up, Mike Tyson's in season 3 of Last OG.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
I like a lot of the features that they put in Last OG. They put Rakim. Rakim was the barber.
Yes, he was.
They had Tyler Quali as the DJ.
Yeah, and then Weebay also was a barber.
Weebay was one of the barbers. So was Donnell Rawlins.
Yes.
Who else? They put Meth in there, Method Man.
So Alan Maldonado, who played Bobby, I think it's pretty cool that he's in it. He's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he is. He's a clown.
And but then what's her name? That the chick from Marlin.
Oh, Bria Webb. Brisha Webb.
Yeah. With the dumper.
Yeah. But she matches dumpers with Tiffany Haddish. I can't lie.
But she's prettier than Tiffany.
She's much prettier than Tiffany Haddish. I love everything about Tiffany Haddish, the neck down. And
As long as her voice isn't in the picture.
right. But I like Tiffany Haddish. I think when she's acting, she's
her
pretty
in
funny.
The Last OG. It's a different kind of role for her.
Yeah, definitely. I respect it. I don't take a stand up too serious, which
I will never watch a Tiffany Haddish stand up. Just like I won't watch an Amanda Seales stand up.
Yeah, and then Amanda Seales, she's also in the news too that she's already leaving The Real.
Yeah, she didn't renew her contract. She's looking for her own show. Fuck it, I don't
Probably, and I get it, but it's almost like, come on now.
Nobody want to hear you in the bullshit.
Not only that, but it seems like she always got a problem with something. Every time she gets put on something, she always got a problem.
Nigga, she complains that ISO is cold.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I just don't like her.
Yeah, me either. So you brought up Amanda Seales. Let's talk Insecure.
Okay.
Yo, I am not gonna lie. That last episode 8, 8 was fucking amazing.
It was all right.
Why you say it's all right?
Because I didn't want to see a situation where Lawrence and Issa come back together. But I definitely didn't want to see Lawrence initiated. Yeah. I did. You know what? It's funny. I realized that my man, not my man, but there's a comedian that I know, that I haven't seen in years, Reggie Conquest. He plays the TSA dude, but he must have put on weight because the last time I've seen Reggie Conquest, which was years ago, he seemed a lot thinner. But shout out to Reggie Conquest. He's a comedian.
I don't know. He's pretty
the TSA
funny.
dude. He's an actual comedian. Yeah,
I do private security too. You have a birthday party or something.
Yeah, I was introduced to him through Race Wars, the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, from way years ago.
Yo, so I am also of the same thing that I don't want to see Issa and Lawrence back together. Yeah. But that episode was cute, man.
It was. You know what I liked about it? I did like the conversation that they had at the table, where I'm pretty sure there's a lot of dudes who have been in that same place with that same feeling that Lawrence had.
Of what feeling was that?
Basically Insecure.
Was it Insecure?
It was Insecure.
Yeah, because he brought a ring and didn't propose.
Right. And he was like, he was basically like, he wasn't doing shit with himself. He saw her going to work every day. And it's like, I'm pretty sure a lot of dudes have been in that places like where you can't figure yourself out, but your woman knows exactly what she wants for herself, and she goes out and gets it. And it's almost not encouraging more than it's discouraging, and it makes you feel worse about yourself when you're not productive, but you see a woman is. And I wonder what that is psychologically, because I've been that person in certain cases, and then I've seen other men be that person where they're not as productive as their woman is, and it's not inspiring to them to do more. It's more discouraging, and it causes them to make crazy decisions. But in her case, she made the crazy decision to go out there and cheat.
I think it's ego.
Is it ego though? Yeah, maybe.
It's the ego that deflates the man, right?
Right.
And kind of depresses them.
Right.
Honestly, man, like I'm kind of in that situation. My wife, she's an attorney. She goes to work or at home, and I have to keep the kids off her back so she can work.
Right.
And there's a lot of shit I want to do, but it's just not enough time for me to do what I want to do.
Right.
Yeah. I got to stay up to the crack of dawn.
It's not as important as her getting her shit done.
Yeah.
because
So,
she's actually working. I know that feeling all too well.
but
Shout out to men. Shout out to the men out here.
I'm chugging along. I think this episode is good for a lot of different conversations.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think what was dope when he was like, when she asked him, "Did you really buy a ring?" And he goes, "Yeah. What do you think? We went ring shopping."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like we went and looked for a ring, you idiot.
Yeah, I thought, but I thought that it was like a place of like vulnerability for both of them,
Right.
where he got really in his feelings, she got really in her feelings, and then she let him hit it.
Yeah, I was about to say, they fucked it out.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Basically.
So I'm gonna say this: as soon as she came in, well, first off, when she was like, "Can I use your bathroom?" I'm like, "She going to wash her pocketbook."
Hey, you know what a pocketbook is?
Pussy.
Pussy.
Maybe that's the episode title. She going to wash her pocketbook.
Yeah, but so
or her axe wound. Shout out to Shells.
Her snatch. Do you think that before the end of the season, her and Lawrence will get back together? Because she still got to go back and think about,
I don't think so.
Light skin dude.
I think this is it was like a closure fuck.
I think so too. But do you think it was a closure fuck for the both of them? Because I think it was more for Issa than
So we
Lawrence.
all know that like random sex never really works out with an ex because it ain't random.
Yeah, that's true.
So
there's always feelings attached to it.
And it's a transfer of energy. So if she was feeling like a way and then she has sex with him, he now has those feelings.
Yeah.
And this is just from my own experiences in my short life. But yeah, I think it's definitely like a ping pong game.
Yeah.
But I think now he's gonna be stuck holding a ball.
Holding his balls.
One and the same. I wonder what Condola wants to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, there's to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it, which I'm sure you had watched it by now. There's talks that she might be pregnant because Lawrence obviously didn't use a rubber for Issa. He left that shit in.
How you know?
That nigga ain't pull out shit. I watched it and rewinded it and watched it again and rewinded and watched it again, and I'm like, that nigga ain't using no rubber. Plus, it was a familiar person. He was with her for 5 years. He not strapping up. He not putting.
Let me explain something to you. She didn't went. It's been a year, right? You know how many dicks she may have encountered that he doesn't know about? We know about it.
But he don't care about that. He just care about Issa. He ain't strap up. Oh. I mean, maybe that's just me talking about, giving out my...
It's just my own fucking preference, I guess. I don't know. Nah, man. These last 2 episodes of the season are going to be great. I hope that we don't have to wait another 2 years for season 5.
Right.
But Issa got to understand that her show is keeping Black America from fully burning this motherfucker down.
That's why HBO is still, the HBO building is still intact. Niggas done burned down CNN. Niggas done trashed CNN already.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck that.
Don Lemon and his teeny weeny afro.
Yo, I don't like Don Lemon's show. He's so over dramatic with everything. He plays something of Trump, and then he'll be like, and then, and then he went back inside and didn't say anything. And that was it.
That sounds about right.
And that's all about him. And then he'll play something inspiring. He'd be like, and everyone gathered, and everyone lived, and everybody loved it.
Okay.
And this is way
Now I'm
America
not going to
should
be able to watch this shit with a straight face.
I can't stand this fucking show. It's and I realized it a couple of days ago when I'm watching it. I'm like, he's just so over dramatic.
Yo, randomly.
Uh,
Do you know the liquor store doesn't have champagne down here?
oh my gosh. What?
I was
That's not a
very
liquor
upset.
store.
I wanted to buy a bottle of Moet just to have a bottle of Moet to myself and jump on my couches like I'm a VIP.
Yeah.
And they didn't have it. I guess I got to go to Target.
So do you have a liquor store or a wine and spirit? Obviously, it's not a wine and spirit store.
No, it's just hard liquor. That's
Hard
it.
liquor. And beer. Did they sell beers and like
Nope.
wine coolers and shit?
Only liquor.
Shit.
All that stuff you can get at the grocery store. But the
Yeah.
grocery store I shop at don't have Moet. But Target do.
How does Target? I need all my New York people to listen to this. Target down south has Moet. What kind of shit is
Rosé and Imperial Nectar.
What? That's crazy. Yo,
I'm going to Target tomorrow.
if New York Targets had Moet, people would be popping bottles in the Target.
That'd be hilarious. Can you imagine? Like, I'm here for diapers.
Yeah.
I used to really enjoy opening champagne bottles.
Yeah. Champagne has been a thing in my house since the COVID, because we've been doing we'll have at least once a week we would do pancakes, sausage and eggs and mimosas that morning.
Oh.
And
Do you frequent mimosas?
Yeah, it would be Moet or Rosé Moet or Vivo Clico. It would,
Vive clique. Vivo,
Yeah.
oh no, Vivois clique.
Vivo click it.
Get that shit in the yellow box.
Yeah. I heard Nas rap it one time and I was like, oh, this sounds like good champagne, so I bought it.
It is. It's good champagne.
It is good. It is good. Somebody gave it to me for free one time at my job.
Nice.
My job that I had a couple years ago. I didn't.
Nice.
It was. I was actually surprised. But
Nigga, I didn't know you liked me.
yeah, right. Yeah, man.
So if it's getting late. So if you could leave the listeners with one thing, what would it be? Anything. One line.
It would be that after 20 years, the brat has come out the closet and admitted that she's a lesbian.
I been knew she was eating Buzzy.
The brat. This isn't news. This isn't news.
If you would have came out and said you were pregnant by
Right.
your husband, I'd have been like, oh shit. A husband?
I thought she was munching box.
You like dick?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm like, who wears the boxes?
No, but seriously, one thing I think my message is more, so I got a message. My message to Black people is, continue to live Black and learn Black.
I like it.
Learn Black. We got to learn exactly what's really been going on, and that understand that a lot of the truths that we hold to our history were some of the shit is fabricated, and I think if we know where we really came from, we'd know where we're going from here. Stop believing the white man's history, because it wasn't made for us. I think you said at one time a long time ago that history is written by the victors.
Yeah.
So obviously the history that they wrote for us to understand, for us to learn, isn't all facts. And white people, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and listen. That's it.
Yeah. All right. What do I?
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
I'm gonna quote Stevie Wonder on this one.
Okay. I
I
can't
ain't
see.
shit.
Sorry, I stepped on it.
I'm joking.
Okay.
Love's in need of love today.
Yeah.
That's it. That's one of my favorite Stevie Wonder songs.
Yeah.
And I listen to it when shit just seems dire.
Yeah.
But everybody, it's me, the DEP. Depth for the ladies, deep. You can follow me on Twitter and IG at DEP_sins. Again, come back and fuck with us. If you fuck with us, you stuck with us. Check out, if you want to learn more about Black Podcast, join our podcast group, Podcasting While Black.
Damn right.
That's it. That's all I got. Turn it to you, bro.
ITZHOLLE on all social media platforms. Man, listen, I have been drinking since about 10 o'clock. And now it's really starting. No, 10 o'clock p.m. And now it's just starting to really hit me. And I need to go eat.
So make you a sandwich.
Yeah. And it's gonna make for a disgusting shit in the morning.
Oh, bro, that's well, then that's it. Everyone, I'm out.
Yeah, baby.